Hi, my name is Dawn Delp from Montavini Alpacas and Plied and Dyed Fiber Studio. Today we're going to talk about doing the cut strand method for the triangle loom weaving. And I'd ask you to please refer to the continuous strand weaving videos I did already so that you can understand the basic concept of how the weaving's done and how to use the thicker and thinner yarns, how to take it off, the loom, things like that. But you'll have the basic concept and then work on this one. This particular type of weaving cut strand method is great for using scraps. You can pre-cut your scraps, but you need to understand where they go so that you can measure them. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But at the moment, what I have done is we are going to warp, weave, and add fringe all at the same time. And it's all done and over with. Move on to the next. So for our first strands, what we're going to do is for the first two strands, we need to find out how long our fringe is going to be, and for me it's that long. We tie a knot, and then we have two strands together, and you are weaving one at a time, but there's really no weaving in the first two strands, so bear with me. We are going to ignore the last post in each of the corners, and we're going to start on the second post. We are starting at the far right end of the loom for this particular type, and everybody does it different, so if you see it done on a different video that somebody else did, that's okay, it's not a problem. Just find what works for you. Okay, here goes. So we are going to put it around the second and third peg here, and we are going to put it around the second and third peg at the top, and basically I'm just giving it a twist because I want the striped yarn to go around the second peg here and the second peg here, and I want the gray yarn to go around the third peg here and the third peg here. We are headed down to the bottom, and that's what we do last, and what we do down there is put it around the second and third peg, and then we would snip our yarn long enough for our fringe and tie a little knot. Now I've pre-tied that knot so that that one is done. That is our first two strands of weaving. Couldn't get any easier than that. So now we can move on to the next one. And I have some scraps up here, so what I'm going to do for these is, as opposed to continuous strand weaving where I have all the yarn in the back, on this type of weaving what I do is have it in the front. And I'm going to lay it from the bottom to the top, and I'm going to go around the fourth peg, just one over, and I'm going to do my first weaving, which all I would do would be to go under my first strand here and over the next, and you can use your crochet hook. I have my handy dandy crochet hook, but these first ones are so easy that it makes it. Now see how long this is? We need it to be about the same length as our others. It doesn't have to be, it can be a little off. Okay, so there's our third strand of weaving, and I'm just letting that one dangle for now until the next one's done. So we'll grab, how about charcoal gray? So I'll put my ball of charcoal gray on the floor, grab my end, come up here, and I am weaving now down from the top, or if you prefer, under, over from this end. See. Here we go. Pull it through, and we are now on 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be the fifth hook, or fifth peg, and this one should be the fifth peg going across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it should be on the fifth peg down here. So now we have two ends down here that are not tied off, so once we have that, we measure for our fringe, snip them off, and then you can tie them. Let me come around here. I usually work from this side, so. And actually, you could either tie the top or the bottom first. It's probably better to tie the top first because that's the one that's woven. But here I am doing it backwards for you. Make sure I don't get too terribly much of the yarn because I don't want it too tight. Put them, and I'm going to go around those 2 pegs, see? And then we're going to come up to this side, and because I left it nice and long, I can tighten it up, flip over a little knot, pull it through. Now you can tie these like a regular old knot, or you can kind of give them a, it's almost like a slip knot, but it's not, so that they're together. So each 2 strands will be together. Now what's going to happen is, as I keep going, I will go from the right to the top, down here. And as I go, it'll keep filling in, so then I'm going more like this, and then down, and then this, and then down. And then my last one will be the second peg from the bottom, all the way up to the second peg on the far left, and then down. And that will be the end. And this is taken off the loom the same way, 1 loop over the next across the top, and your fringe will already be on, so you'll be all set.